A lot of black people, especially boys, believe what was said to them when they were little. You're dumb, you're ugly, the teacher don't want to call on you, sit down, don't talk, I'm talking to Billy or Samantha. I only want them to speak and give me the answer, I want to keep you dumb.
I am coming from a perspective of getting off the ship, proverbially, with no parents here. And that is a whole different story on its own. It's very hard because you don't really know the trail. You have nobody to disappoint.
This is the failure they want to see. As soon as you get strong in the 2%, this becomes irrelevant.
I dropped out of school, started selling drugs with some people, and I would tell you it was not something that was pleasant. Like, there was not a day in my life that I didn't have to worry about getting killed, getting robbed, or going to jail.
I just spent 4.5 years working for the state of Washington in the prison system, and 62% of everybody in prison is black. And they only make up 6.9% of the whole population.
Saw a guy talked about his life story and what he does with the state for kids. And I thought, that's somebody that I would like to know.
To any of those people that I teach this to, is stop listening to what they wrote. Flip the page over and make it blank. Write your own story in pencil so that when you make mistakes, you can erase it and make corrections. Because you're going to make mistakes.
Events like this, if you can hitch up with somebody that you are accountable to. Somebody that can call you and say, hey, Sammy, how's it going?
I've made thousands of mistakes not knowing how to respond to something.
If you don't practice the message, it won't come to life.
One thing that I would like to share too is when I was back home, and when we see people that come back home from this country, all these new clothes, new everything, it looks like they're coming from, literally from heaven.
And I want to give you an example of a friend of mine in Portland, Oregon. One day I drove down there to celebrate my 50th birthday. And 10 of us went out to a nightclub to have drinks and have food. And I walk up to the bar and I'm gonna buy a round of drinks for my friends. The guy whose birthday it was walked up to that end of the bar and he's ordering, not realizing that I'm paying for the first round. So I look over at him and I go, I got this. And all of a sudden, he's fighting somebody. And so the other 9 of us run over there and we pull him off of this guy. And we say, why are you fighting this guy? And he said, the guy asked me if I was gay. I said, you could have said no. But instead, he beat the guy up. He went to jail for 365 days. He had a $90,000 job. He lost his job. His wife divorced him and married someone else. And now his wife and kids are living with someone else. All of that happened while he was in jail. All because a gay guy said he was cute and he didn't know how to respond to that. You can't stop a person from thinking you're cute. You can control how you respond to them.
I mean, I was speaking English. It was English. You said English, just the tonation was different. You know, so they're not used to that.
You can't stop a job from not hiring you because you're black. You can control how to respond to that.
But when I came here, I looked around and all the things that I was going through, and I'm like, they lied!
One time, I was buying a lottery ticket at the 7-Eleven by Green Lake. And my friend said, nigga, you ain't gonna win the lottery. Niggas don't win the lottery. And I thought to myself, why did you not want me to win the lottery? If I win, then you have a rich friend. Wouldn't that benefit you?
Sometimes some people that we think that they are resourceful or they can help are those who can really put us down.
I want you to know that you can't skip steps to achieve what is common to man. Does that make sense?
Yes.
To win the lottery, you gotta buy the lottery ticket.
Yes.
You can't expect the process to switch just for you special. Yeah. You want the man in Olympia to come by and say, hey dog, I saw you thinking some numbers, here's your money. It don't work that way.
If you want to be a pharmacist, you need to work towards that.
To be honest, America will make you think you could skip the process. So when everybody came to Ghana and Jeffrey seen them and all their gold and all their nice stuff, Jeffrey didn't go ask them what it took and what slavery things they've been through and how many nigger words they got called and how hard it was to buy those Jordans and to get that t-shirt. He didn't ask them that. So he just thought the streets must be paved with gold. There's money on trees. He didn't ask how many hours they worked at that restaurant and how late they stayed up doing their schoolwork and working at that restaurant to get those shoes to come back to Ghana to look like you made something of yourself, even though you didn't want to tell them how incredibly painful it was to be in America, losing your whole country. Because people here don't think about it, because they hadn't had to lose anything. You actually have to divorce everyone you've ever known to come somewhere where nobody knows you. And then they ask you, change everything about yourself so you can make us happy. It's the biggest mistake we make. You sound how you sound, and you look how you look. If you change how you look for some dude or for some person, guess what they're gonna ask you next? Eventually you go to the mirror and you don't even know who you are because you keep switching it to please somebody else, and eventually you're not you. And then they say, I don't want you. But you told me to, you shouldn't have did it.